Okay, so it's been a while. Hi. So, I'm gonna fix the light real fast. Oh gosh, now I'm incandescent. So, hello, so it's been a while. This isn't like a good Keytar content video. I mean, there's a Keytar. There's this one. Does it have batteries on? I don't know. You have batteries in? I clearly was using it for a minute. There we go. I had like a bunch of stuff going on. None of it really justifies having been gone for so long, but I do this for fun. So it's not like, I don't feel like I disappointed anybody or let anybody down. I didn't break any promises. I just didn't make content, and, you know, I'm sorry about that. There's been a bunch of stuff that's been going on. The major recent ones was shortly after I uploaded the last video, my video cameras, both, went missing. Like, you'll notice in the last video, there's a couple times where I do, like, A shot, B shot, and A shot looks like normal 2020 content, and B shot looks like we're back in 2006. Both those cameras went missing. They still have not been found. I had to get a new camera. The camera that I like is this Sony ZV-1 series, because they will record for more than 34 minutes without arbitrarily cutting off, because they've decided that maybe the United States doesn't need to deal with... Okay. We don't need me to get angry right now about import tax laws of other countries and how they personally inconvenience me. We don't need that. We don't need that. Don't get into a fight with me about how that cutoff actually works on other cameras, because what you need to know is that I've done the research on this, I'm right, and I'm not willing to just let you be wrong. I will fight you about it. And I'm very tired. In previous videos, I frequently had my leg in a ortho boot. That's because I've had trouble with my ankle bone. So we did another MRI, and I have edema in my talus. So that's fun. How that works out functionally is, I am now doing a big ol' fiberglass cast, no weight bearing for 6 weeks, because the chances of surgery actually working on this condition are, like, alarmingly low. So instead, we are doing the ancient and time-honored strategy of, have you tried turning the bone off and turning it back on again? So that's been making things difficult. That's been making just moving through my house and through my life very difficult. Also, like, I had a bit of a identity crisis, I guess. When I was in my, like, gap, because I couldn't be making stuff for YouTube, I just kind of stopped making music, and then I felt like, what if I don't ever want to make music? Which is, you know, weird, but, like, one of the things that you'll notice about a lot of other YouTube music channels is that someone will talk a lot about instruments, and then they're actually very technically skilled with that instrument. And I can talk a lot, but I'm not super technically skilled with the instruments that I, you know, play. I'm not making crazy, I'm not producing, I'm not writing, I'm not performing really well, because that's not my thing that I'm good at. I think everybody has a thing that they're really good at that other people might not be as good at, and my thing is sewing. I do a lot of sewing. Like, I sell sewing machines, I've worked in craft stores, but I've just always been pretty good at taking a look at something, building it, you know, developing it in my head. And so that's what I've been doing. I also made some really inappropriate patches of Sonic the Hedgehog, But now everybody fucking wants a nice cock Sonic the Hedgehog patch, and I'm not gonna make more. They're so annoying to make. I'm not gonna make more. I guess I'll send them to all the patrons or something. That's still a thing. Patreon doesn't charge you unless I make a video, so all the current patrons have just been enjoying all the free perks. The free perks of Patreon are not very great. You get access to my private Twitter, which, generally content on the private Twitter is either me complaining about people who I know follow my public Twitter, or it's like, this is a cute picture of my cat, but I didn't want to post it on the public Twitter because my bra is in the picture. So, you get that. There's never any, like, really good content there. And then we have a Discord server that's not particularly active, because I'm not particularly active on it. That's what you get. That's what you get with us. It's... At least you pay money for it when I charge money for it. That, the fact that I can't, like, move around my own house, the fact that I couldn't, really, I didn't have my camera, and that kind of sucked away my... Every time that I had motivation to make a video, it's like, oh, there's this big hurdle, I don't have my camera. How am I gonna record this? Oh, I guess I could do it on my phone. How do I get off my phone? And then by the time that I've figured out how to do it, I've got my idea being gone. I don't know if y'all have ever noticed that I have a lot of trouble sticking to an idea, but I sure do. I also regularly just peel off pieces of the fiberglass from this cast, and then I'm sure that my doctor's gonna be like, this was 4 inches longer when we gave it to you. I'm like, I know. I picked at it, so I didn't pick at my face. That's fine. And then the most recent thing that happened was, for all of y'all who don't know, we are super... Oh, I forgot. There's also, like, Pet One Cat wanted a video, and I've decided unless I'm getting real serious money for it, and I mean, like, money, like, make this video and you get $1,000. Not like, you could get $1,000 with your engagement on this video. I'm just not going to do sponsorships anymore. I'm not going to do paid partnerships, things like that. Because when I make a video, I want to make a video about what I want to make a video about. I also don't, despite being relatively technically good at sewing, I don't do it for money because it's my hobby and it's fun. And I don't want, oh, I want to make a video about this. Oh, I want to sew this thing. And then I can't because I have paid things that I need to get done. If I wanted to have that job, sewing and music wouldn't be my output, they'd be my job. I have a job, I go to work. I drive to work, for everybody who's wondering, I drive to work with my left foot and it's legal. You just do this. Okay, someone GIF that and then I'll just sell that GIF right there. But, I go to work, I work hard, I sell stuff, I go home, and when I'm at home, I want to do the things that I want to do. And so that was another thing that hindered me, was just taking up that sponsorship and feeling like I hadn't provided them with good enough content to justify the partnership. Also, as a side note, this is specifically because of how Midnight is. Mitty the Keytar cat did not like Pet One Cat. It made her start peeing everywhere but the litter box, and I had to put her on Prozac to make her go back to using the litter box. By the way, you can put your cat on Prozac. And it solves problem urination really effectively. I don't know who was sitting around and was like, guys, do you think we can safely give Prozac to a cat? And what happens when we do? And I was like, somebody figured out you can give Prozac to a cat, but, and that's just a marketable thing, but even though there's a cure for FIP, which otherwise would kill, like, your cat gets FIP and they die, but now there's a black market treatment for that, because the people who have the drug that treats and cures this really, really bad condition that kills cats, they're like, well, we don't want to use it on cats. Fuck you guys. Anyway. Then, recently, we're super rural out here. I don't know if I've ever mentioned it, but, like, anytime that you see me vlogging while I'm driving, I'm on a private road, and so that's legal. As a side note, like, if I crash into somebody while I'm doing that, they can argue that I was operating a motor vehicle in an unsafe manner, but I was not actually violating any street road rules. It's the same sort of thing that, like, if I crash my tractor into my neighbor's house, first of all, that would be fun. Second of all, I don't have a tractor. And third, it would not be an accident. But they could get on my case for operating heavy machinery irresponsibly, even though there's no, like, rules of the road. But anyway, that's like, it's almost a mile long that is my driveway. And so getting internet out here is really difficult. And a short version of a long story through some, I don't want to place blame on a company when I'm gonna be posting this video to get potentially 100 views. So, I'm not gonna say, through a large combination of situations, our unlimited internet contract with T-Mobile was replaced with a 100 gigabyte a month contract, and for indication of how unusable that is, we're gonna pull up my T-Mobile app, and we're gonna see, so we are 4 days from the end of the billing cycle, and we're gonna see how much on my personal phone, when I also have home internet for my computer, my usage of data in my phone is, personally, me, I have used 91 gigabytes of data. So having 100 gigabytes is just the same as not having internet, except that it costs more money. So we were gonna cancel the internet plan because it's completely unusable, in the same way that, like, if I was making a car payment on a single tire, I would cancel it. There was nothing ill will about, actually there's a lot of ill will about the company. So Verizon has said that they are offering, like, a home internet plan, and also with our current internet provider, or our current cell phone provider, because we have to get internet either through satellite or through LTE. There's no fiber, there's no cable. So, and there's no line of sight because we live in a valley too, because it couldn't just be convenient, you know? So, we had those as our options, and nobody wanted to give us unlimited anymore, which sucks. So, anyway, I actually have the screenshot. I had contacted their customer care and been like, hey, why is this happening? And they said, well, you changed your plan. And I fully expected that to be the answer. So when I complained about it on Twitter, and their crisis team caught it and said, hey, we want to make sure you're having the right situation. And I said, well, the plan is operating like you think it should. The problem is that we were changed plans without us agreeing to it. Literally nobody in my family would have agreed to replace an unlimited plan with a 100 gigabyte plan. We all know how bad that is. So I said, so the problem is not actually with the internet you're providing, it's with the fact that our plans changed. And then I had been told a couple different times, like, oh, well, we looked into this and we can't do anything. And I am one of the primary account holders on this because I'm the one who can access the app most easily, so it's just convenient. And so I was talking to him, and I was ready to, we have 9 lines with our cell phone provider. We have a family plan with 9 lines. And so I had pulled up instructions on Google Maps to get from my house to the nearest Verizon wireless store. Again, we're super rural, so it's like a 35-minute drive. And I had circled the time, and I was about to send it to them and be like, you have this long to solve this problem. But then, shout out to T-Mobile, they basically looked at it and went, yeah, we'll just put you back on unlimited, that shouldn't have happened. So without anybody taking blame, and I do think they think it's my fault, and I think they think it's my fault specifically because they said, when I said this is what happened, they said, oh, that's a new one, let me look into that. And I used that phrase at work too, that's a new one. A long time ago, I worked at a cafe, we did 1,100 covers a night. Cafe. And so in the morning we had an omelet bar. And people could ask for, omelets came in liquid eggs. Liquid eggs is eggs that are pre-beaten, they have citric acid added so that they don't turn weird colors, and then they're in a carton, and you pour them out, but it's real eggs that have been pre-beaten. And then we could also, at request, break 3 in-shell eggs into a bowl, beat it, and add it to your omelet. And so regulars would come in and they'd go, I want real eggs. It's like, I'm gonna play this game with you because I make minimum wage and this amuses me. And so you stand behind your product. And the thing is, if you came up to me as a customer and you said, I want real eggs, and the person behind you has never been to our restaurant before, and I grab something other than the same eggs that I've been giving everybody else, what is that new customer gonna think? They're gonna think we're giving fake eggs to other people. So someone would say, I want real eggs, and me, a 22-year-old shit-faced dumbass, would go, they're all real eggs. These are real eggs. They'd go, no, I want real eggs. I'm like, I don't understand what you're saying. What I'm holding here is real eggs. And finally they'd be like, I want eggs that come in a shell. And I go, oh, you want shell eggs? Yes, you just had to say so. Because I'm not willing to, down-talk product like that. And it makes me a great little retail robot. If a customer just bought a sewing machine, I need to remind people who don't sell premium sewing machines that a normal, entry level, you're not buying absolute shit, but you just bought a real sewing machine, that is about $1,000. And the price of sewing machines goes up to, I think, the highest MSRP that my company sells for a household sewing machine. These are not commercial, these are not industrial. I believe that the highest one we have is MSRP of $22,000 US. So, when someone has just bought a sewing machine, it doesn't matter what price it is, they've probably saved up a ton of money. This is not a thing that people impulse buy, even if it's $600 or $800, even if you're only spending $300 on it. If someone bought their machine and they're having problems with it, you never put the imperfection on the machine design, ever. So, you can say things like, wow, this $220 baby lock machine that's made out of plastic was not actually designed to go through 1/4-inch leather. But that's not a failure on the design. The design was for something, and they are using it for something outside of that design. But so, some of the Janome machines, some of the, entry-level Janome machines, the screen is just not very good. And if someone just bought that machine, they, that's a week's worth of extra, money. That is not doing anything nice for a week for someone who even makes reasonably large amounts of money. That's a lot of savings. That's not an impulse buy that they're just shrugging off the same way that it would be if you just spent $90 getting dinner somewhere. So you don't ever just be like, oh wow, the screen on these is terrible. You say things like, uh-oh, hang on, I'm having trouble reading the screen. The imperfection is on me and not on the sewing machine. And that's how you can stand behind your product and champion your product really subtly. I don't know why I'm talking about this. I don't remember how we got here. Anyhow, so that's what I've been doing. I have actually just been secretly developing a cult. But if anybody has seen, selfies that I've been posting on Instagram or outfit pictures that I've been posting on Instagram and you've been wondering what's up with the wheelchair, what is up is that, did you know that bones can swell? I didn't know that bones can swell. I do not want to know that bones can swell. But you can get a lot of fluid in your bone marrow, and in addition to causing pain, because your bones can't actually physically get larger, there's just not really a good way to treat it. And then on top of that, I do have a rip in the cartilage on my talar dome, which is great. So that one actually, I believe, is properly healing. I've been, in braces and boots and things like that for a while, and that did go from being, 10 millimeter by 6 millimeter down to being 2 millimeter by 3 millimeter. So hopefully in the process of turning my foot off and turning it back on again, we are going to have that resolved. By the way, I'm going to close this with a story about the old internet router at my house. This house, actually. So, this router that we had, it was with HughesNet. Now, HughesNet does a thing, as a side note, they don't call it this anymore. Someone tipped them off to this. But back when we used HughesNet, they said you had unlimited internet, but then they'd throttle you back. They wouldn't give you a number. This was before satellite internet would give you a number. They'd just say you've used too much data, so we've throttled you, according to the Fair Access Policy. And then they proceeded to use the acronym FAP during the entire "this is what's going on" page. So they would just be like, because of FAP, because we FAP, because of our FAP, we cannot, like, you guys, your job is to provide the internet. And no one told you that maybe FAP was a bad acronym to pick for this. Anyway, we thought that some of it was HughesNet because the internet would just intermittently, the Wi-Fi router would stay on, but the internet connection to the router was gone. And we had no idea what caused it, but we knew that if you went in, is all on a power strip, turn the power strip off, turn the power strip back on, everything's fine. And then one day we were sitting there talking, and we realized that the box, the transformer box, that thing that gets hot, was sitting next to the router, and it hit like a certain temperature. And then the router, or the internet, whatever, I don't know how satellite internet works, would hit this temperature and would shut down because it detected that it was a high temperature. And so we'd come over, we'd turn the power strip off, and we'd turn it back on, and in the time that between when it had turned off, when we noticed it, when we turned off the power strip and turned it back on, everything had cooled down. So we had no idea that the reason that the internet kept cutting out was actually just that the router itself disappeared. We assumed it was due to satellite aiming and a bunch of other stuff. But yes, and for everyone who has asked, we are on the Starlink waiting list. Also, I don't know how to say that I feel like Starlink as a name could not have said, like, fuck you to Earthlink more severely than they did. But because we're super rural, the chances that they're going to get Starlink to us anytime soon are probably pretty low. And so that's why another barrier to me making YouTube videos was knowing that even if I made a video, there was not going to be any way for me to upload it in anything better than like 480p, because I can't upload off my phone. Wi-Fi, they do throttle that down to 3G speeds, which in 2022 is the same as not giving you internet. But so they throttle it down to 3G or 4G speeds, and that just takes forever to upload. It takes multiple days, and I would have to leave my phone next to my computer for multiple days, which I can't do. But so I had, that was part of it. Knowing that I just wouldn't be able to upload it in any kind of quality. So having our internet come back was really nice. I just want to say that honestly, that was so impressive to me for T-Mobile to just pull that. T-Mobile to just go, yeah, you've been and I mean, to be fair, we've been a customer with them for 9 years, and we have 9 lines on the family plan. So, oh wow, the screen on my camera just got dimmer. I don't like that. So this might cut off in a minute, so if it did, hi, thank you everybody for watching. Have a nice day. So now I'm gonna talk until the camera cuts off. Oh yeah, so, like, the one thing though is that they did kind of break a rule for us. Like, we're not supposed to be able to get unlimited internet in this area, because again, we are in a giant rural hole. There's nothing in here. It's great for when you want to vlog while you drive. It's not good for when you want to upload that vlog. So we were looking at other networks, and there's one, Open Internet. They were super nice. So I bought, like, every LTE home internet solution that I could find, and once I bought one, all my advertising algorithms knew that that's what I wanted. So that was all the advertisements I got. So I was gonna have the Pink's Family internet Hunger Games, where we were gonna turn all of them on and just slowly kill them as we go. But then T-Mobile ruined the Hunger Games. Thanks, guys. I mean, actual thanks, guys. This was the best answer. But so, yeah, Open Internet was super, super nice about it, though. So, you know, if my neighbors complain about needing internet, I'm probably gonna tell them to check out Open Internet. I'll link them in the description. They seem to be pretty chill. They seem to be a good price. I haven't tried the actual service, but, Glenn, who I emailed to say, hi, I bought your service and then somebody else solved my problem. Glenn was really nice. So, yeah, if you are rural or you're looking for mobile internet solutions, check out Open Internet. Tell me if they're good. Tell Glenn I said hi. That's about it. So yeah, midnight. Hey, Keys. Kitty. Okay. You're just not over there, that's fine. Oh! The other thing that happened. So on Christmas Eve, remember, I sell sewing machines. That is what my store does. We sell a little bit of fabric, we teach a little bit of classes, and we sell sewing machines. We are a sewing machine dealership. So obviously this guy came in on Christmas Eve and asked if we wanted a cat. Because that's what you do. So the shelter had told him that they weren't going to take a cat in for Christmas Eve. He said his wife decided that they were not keeping the cat. I don't know whose fault that is. Someone dumped a senior cat, like a 14-year-old cat, at a sewing machine store with two ladies who, like, he had no way of knowing. He didn't even tell us her name. So anyway, I'll put some pictures up here. We named her Carhartt because we have socks and we call midnight pants. Or bad pants a lot of the time. So we have Carhartt, we have pants, we have socks, we have teensy buttons. Or T-butt for short. Anyway, here's pictures of Carhartt. She looks sad all the time. It's not her fault, it's just her face. It's like how Midnight looks angry all the time. It's not her fault, it's just her face. Anyway, I hope that somewhere in there was something useful. Trust your instincts. They are probably wrong that you need to burn down the house, but they are probably correct that you should start at the basement. And that's how I'm gonna end this. So, if you are interested in anything that happened in this weird story time, please leave a comment. Obviously, my YouTube algorithm is just shot because I didn't post anything for like 7 months, so obviously that's just been trashed. But, you know, if you like leaving comments, I like reading comments. There's a subscribe button. You can press that. I upload super sporadically. Apparently I went like 7-8 months without posting, so definitely hit the notification bell if you like learning about Keytars or the fine details of gaslighting customers. Thank you, and have a nice night.